We're back. Buzzard Brain Broadcasting. The BBB. Buzzard Brain Broadcasting. Norman Woodstock Spalding, Bare Bones Broadcasting. Only you can call it Buzzard Brain Broadcasting. The thoughts of a buzzard. I don't catch her. Yep. Too old to do a lot of things. Rode pretty hard. Put away wet. Had a lot of fun. Had a lot of tears. Avoided the issue, mostly. Squandered my citizenship in living. Didn't even know I was doing it. Having fun. I like fun. How about you? Never really hurt anybody. Anybody ever hurt me? There's some that yelled out because they couldn't get out of me what they wanted. Oh, I'm a terrible man. Other than that, never hurt anybody. I never directly. Oh, I huff and puff inside. But let me tell you something. Never put my hands on nobody and hurt them. Too small. Mostly. Good thing, huh? Don't carry a weapon and too small. Keeps you from hurting people. That's the thing. Get out of here without hurting somebody. Bottom line, live your living. Hurt no one. Whole life long. Go through it. Be able to say, like, I can say I've never bought a lottery ticket and I hurt no one. Be able to say that. I mean, with your hands directly on them and your mind plotting and part of a group doing the hurting and so on. I was never part of the military. I'm a citizen. I failed citizen. I failed all that. I failed the hurting groups. They won't accept me. I got a peg leg. And I look like the banjo player in Deliverance, and they ain't gonna accept me. So the herders that plot and sneak around stuff, they don't like me. Get away. You're worthless to us. Never was included. I don't have them around me now. These people are plotting, even the ones that are alone. They have they don't have my past. They weren't altar boys, I don't think. Didn't manage NAPA jobbers. Didn't go through an IBW apprenticeship. And they don't have ancestry in military. They wouldn't let you pull any bull. You tried. You're a complier. I'm bad at JD in some ways. I just back up and hit it from a different. I had a man live with me once. He was so military. It was just, you know how I saw him die? Making his bunk. He'd tear it apart and put it back together. I saw a man on his deathbed tear his bed apart and make it. Sit in the chair and talk to me before I get up, tear his bed apart, remake it. That military training is something that I say. Oh, that touches my heart so deep. I laugh and cry in pleasure remembering that man. He had more gumption than I ever met in anybody. He was a French citizen. They let him die on the street. The weather ate him alive. They said he died of cirrhosis. Bah! They poisoned him. Told him he would never quit drinking, would never treat him, that he had the disposition to quit. Never gave him that credit. How many people supposedly helping give those they help the least disposition credit they could? Why? And you don't, well, they're risky. Shut up! Risky. I had a Department of Human Services caseworker one time. I need to carry a concealed weapon. People wanted to hurt me. And you saw how vicious this woman was. Everything living wanted to hurt her. She called for it. She had no business in that employment at all. She was extremely inhibited, very defensive about everything. You need to sit in a simulator. If you have problems with inhibition, you cannot own a weapon. Period. You suffer any inhibitions sitting in a simulator and test it. Say 5 to 6 hours asking you questions. You suffer inhibition
and superstition and have a storyline in your head of horse pucky and think humans are monsters, no weapon for you. Are humans monsters? What do you use first, words or a weapon? What do you use, your wits or a weapon? Which one? What does a police officer use, wits or a weapon? And when he draws that weapon, is it to make you comply with wit? Really? He knows already he ain't complying with no wit. None! Or at least the training has taught him that. Or her that. I find the average citizen so unthought through, it is staggering, and you can be well thankful for your police departments in most cities in this nation. Most of them, maybe the officers won't comply for their own personal God knows what reason. The agency itself has a far more backed up view and understanding, and it's far more sentimental to the community than a good portion of the citizens. The police officer has a more accurate storyline in their head and are far more contributing to the betterment of society than a good portion of the citizens, especially those not committing crime. The do-gooders. Not committing crime, living off the criminals, doing nothing for asset to this situation. They have a horrible sour picture in their head and pass that on more than anything, and are a burden and a threat to the police officer. Because of their failure, the criminal blames the police officer, and not the police officer's fault at all. Now you get the police officer behaving more big brother and psychology than police officer, and I find it marvelous. And it's a class example of how wonderful this creature is, isn't it? Asset in the United States. Priceless asset. United States. Won't find it anywhere else. Europe doesn't understand it. Australia? New Zealand? Where? Anything British effects. Do they understand it? You have to outthink the wit and the Brits. United Kingdom, does this planet have to outdo that? Do ya? Big time. That thinking, wacky. Everyone lying to it. Victorian Gayapa. Want a bet? Now we will sing a hymn. La la wind the boot and the hit the bonsoir, mon dieu, bonsoir. Mon dieu, la la la, you thunder, you gotta have the you got to do it. Huh? I should sing rock though. But see, I have to be a little louder. When I sing the rock, it comes out a little louder, and neighbors, you know how neighbors are. It's a bare bones studio. I'm right here in a little apartment. Bare bones in it. So I'm really muffling everything. It would be a little different if I was in my own studio, if you know what I mean, walls padded and stuff. For sound. I like to preach from padded walls. Me and Napoleon, on the way out. You're hearing it. This is, I am the reincarnated Napoleon. I'm just going through what I went through once before. You've got me locked. Got to talk to somebody, don't I? And now they took the pad off the walls. Can't bang on the wall. The neighbors will have a... No, this isn't me. So I'm giving you what I got. Hey, Dorothy. We'll talk about Goulardi sometime. Listen, you mimic what you see. I have been raised on Goulardi. Turn blue. I don't. Parma